Hi, my name is Alisa Rodriguez, and I will be talking about Hikikomori syndrome. There is a popular saying in Japan that the protruding nail will be hammered down. The Japanese culture is known for being a collectivist culture with parental influence playing a big part in their children's lives. The societal pressure that many adolescents and young adults experience has resulted in hikikomori syndrome. Hiki meaning to pull, hikikomori meaning to withdraw. This syndrome was first coined by Japanese psychiatrist Tamaki Saito in 1998 as he studied the increasing number of citizens that experience symptoms from this particular illness. Hikikomori is a state of avoiding social engagement with generally persistent withdrawal into one's residence for at least 6 months as a result of various factors as defined by the Japanese National Resource Task Force. Many of those who suffer from this illness do not attend school, they do not attend work, and are unable to maintain any type of personal relationships. In 2003, the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare established a criterion that a patient must meet to be diagnosed with this syndrome. First, possible patient must have a lifestyle centered at home. Second, they have no interest or willingness to attend school or work. Third, their symptoms durations of at least 6 months.
6 months later.
Fourth, schizophrenia, mental retardation, or as it is known now, intellectual disability, and other mental disorders must be ruled out. And fifth, among those with no interest or willingness to attend school or work but are maintaining personal relationships like friendships must also be excluded. This disorder mainly affects male teens and young adults who are in a very important stage of their life in which they need to be successful in order to obtain a respectable career. This is very particular to firstborn sons as they have the biggest burden to follow their parents' wishes and be successful. Now, Japanese culture is known for being very competitive and rigid with clear expectations for their citizens, and it can be very unforgiving to those who do not meet that status quo. Now, all of this has led to hikikomori syndrome, with many experiencing high levels of stress and anxiety that they have to perform very well. With the fear of failure hanging above their heads, many become socially withdrawn and they have the inability to leave the house, which ultimately leads them to being a recluse. Many in this field have recommended this illness to be a culture bound syndrome, defined as a recurrent, local, and specific patterns to aberrant behavior and troubling experience. There are four criterion that is needed to be considered as such. First, being that the disorder must be a discrete and well defined syndrome. Second, it must also be recognized as a specific illness specific to that culture in which it is primarily associated. Third, the disorder must be expected, recognized, and to some degree sanctioned as a response to certain precipitations in the particular culture. And fourth, a higher incidence of prevalence of the disorder must exist in societies in which the disorder is culturally recognized. As you can see, hikikomori fits most of these criterion, and nevertheless, the cases keep climbing all over the country, with statistics estimating about 600,000 15 to 39-year-olds and close to 550,000 40 to 64-year-olds living their lives as modern day hermits. The older population of Japan is also highly susceptible to this disease as they are secluded from the rest of society. There is also a danger that hikikomori can escalate to suicidal ideations. Japan is one of the countries with the highest rate of suicide among its citizens. With the fact that those who suffer from hikikomori live in complete isolation, this can lead to low moods, depressive episodes that can result in suicide. There is an added component in Japan that many praise the country for, but with those with hikikomori, it can definitely exacerbate their condition, and that is technology. Now, technology is very socially embraced in Japan, and Japan is one that is very innovative with technology leading its way. But with those with hikikomori, it can make it easier for them to fall into isolation, and make it easier for them to not have to leave their homes and do anything that they need to do. With technology being so big in Japan, they have the ability to shop, play, work, communicate, and basically everything else through technology without the need to do face to face interactions. And this could be the reason why there has been an increase over the last 10 years in people with hikikomori syndrome. Although technology could also be the key for those with hikikomori to access help. Many seek help by seeing a therapist or counselor online remotely and working on their illness from the comfort of their own homes. There's also many services and nonprofits providing support and help through a type of exposure therapy. A popular service being rental sisters. If a person with hikikomori needs support, a woman or sister will go to their homes and help them start learning how to interact with others. It could be as small as writing letters and passing them back and forth, or to going with them to the buy groceries and seeking employment, or even just stepping outside their residence. Another program allows those with hikikomori to go to schools and learn to interact with children, which helps take off the edge of interacting with another adults. To summarize, all male teens and young adults experience very tremendous pressure from society to be excellent. And this societal pressure has led to an overall deterioration in their mental health and has resulted in many of them becoming recluse. And with technology being on a rise over the last couple of years, it is completely possible to live their lives without the need of human interaction. And all of this has given a rise to hikikomori. Thank you.